Hi everybody, my name's Nikki. I'm one of the geography team at Richard Huish College, and I would really like to convince you that geography is one of the A-levels that is definitely for you. Why geography? Well, I know I'm biased, but I really think we need more geographers in the world. You may have noticed that the world has got a few problems going on at the moment, and the people that can help to fix those and make the planet better are often, not always, but often geographers. So more people with an understanding of the planet would be good. But for you as an individual, why geography? Well, it's partly a science and it's partly a humanity. So we're kind of a jack of all trades. If you're taking a really science-based programme, we can add that little bit of humanity and vice versa. It's also described as what's called a facilitating subject, which means it opens lots of doors for you. We do a little bit of maths, we learn to write essays, we can read a map, we can argue a point, we can link cause and effect. Geographers really do have a very wide range of skills. So both for the planet and for you as a person, geography is a really excellent subject choice.
I've always had an interest in geography. It has two aspects, human and physical geography. Human focuses more on people and cities and the way that we interact with the world, and physical is more scientific and interacts with rocks and minerals and how the earth works.
So the course overview, you're going to do 7 modules while you're with us, and at A-level you're not yet allowed to choose between the human and the physical sides of the course. You have to do both of them. So I'm afraid if you do have a real preference for one or the other, you're going to have to cope with both for now. We are slightly biased towards physical geography in that we do coasts, often a module that lots of you will be familiar with, water and carbon cycles, tectonics, and weather and climate. There are therefore 3 human geography modules, the names of which are not going to give you very much information, to be honest. Changing places, in a nutshell, is the idea that we have many places and they change, but it's more interesting than that, I promise. Global governance, which is the idea that the world has got some global issues and we need global solutions which are not really working. So there's a lot of politics and really interesting stuff in that one. And then we also do one called Development in an African Context, which is essentially about the continent of Africa and the fact it has traditionally struggled with its development. And you get to have an opinion, ladies and gents. So we will teach you 17 possible reasons that could be the reason, and you have to decide which one or which ones you think it might be. So we'll teach you those and you are examined on those modules, but we also do a piece of coursework which is worth 20% of your grade. So we're 80% exam and 20% coursework. For the coursework, you can pretty much do it on anything related to geography. We will just make sure that it's a sensible topic and that the data collection is going to be safe for you. But as long as you tick those boxes, you can play to your strengths on that one. A typical lesson in geography could involve many, many different things. If there is something going on in the world that is relevant to the course, we will talk about that, whether it's a volcanic eruption or a weather event or something like that. In terms of learning, we might do some past paper questions, we might play Kahoot, we might have a group work activity where you are doing some research or putting a presentation together. We might be analysing some data that you've collected on a field trip. You might be putting a case study together. So there is a wide range of activities in our lessons to try and cater for different learning styles and also to try and keep things as interesting as possible.
We study stuff from changing places to Africa to migration. We do a wide array of subjects, which is really interesting and gives you a much better view of the world itself.
In geography, of course, there are field trips. In the first year, we will take you to a variety of local destinations just for day trips. For example, we might take you down to Lyme Regis to do some beach measurement. We might take you on a beach clean to go and measure litter on different beaches. But year 1 is day trips. In the second year, there will be an opportunity to go on a residential field trip. Currently, we take students to Iceland, although this may be subject to change, but we do offer the opportunity to go abroad. In terms of enrichment, we are closely linked with the Eco Action Group, led by another member of staff. Not all geographers feel that they wish to join this, but we are very strongly linked with it. And it's a group that's led by students and takes on a variety of eco issues and takes action on them, as the name would suggest.
It's a very friendly environment. There's a lot of interaction between the students and we all get on very well. We always study something interesting and the teachers always try to make it as fun and interesting as possible to any students.
The key differences between GCSE and A-level geography massively depend on which GCSE syllabus you have followed. You may find it's really quite similar, you may find it's completely different, but it leads to one of the frequently asked questions. Because there are so many different GCSE syllabuses out there and you can learn such a wide variety of different parts of geography, we have to start from scratch again. And therefore it doesn't matter if you have taken geography at GCSE, you are still able to come and join us on the A-level programme. Because it's not just the understanding of the topics, it's actually the application of them to different situations and to the real world. So you can treat your GCSE as a nice foundation to help you at the A-level, but it is not an essential thing.
The way you're treated by teachers at A-level is so much different. You don't use a sir or miss. You refer to them by a first name basis, so you feel a lot more personal connections to your teachers at A-level.
Geography is one of those subjects where people seem to think that if you take it, you are going to have to end up like me as a geography teacher. I would highly recommend that. I'm very happy in my job, but actually there are many, many things that you can do with geography. They don't have to automatically be linked. You don't have to end up doing something to do with the environment, for example. The thing about geography is you're given a very wide range of skills. It's why it's a facilitating subject. So actually those skills are really transferable into a huge range of careers. There are geographers who are accountants, there are geographers who are planners, there are geographers who work in the renewable energy sector, there are geographers who become politicians. It really does have a really wide range of skills that are very much valued by employers, and therefore, in terms of progression, it can open many, many doors for you.
Personally, I'm hoping to do a geology career and I'm hoping to go to Bristol University for geology, and geography plays quite heavily into that. So geography gives me a view of what I need to do, and then it also gives me extra information which I can use to supplement my work.
In case you need a little bit more persuading to take A-level geography, I'd just like to tell you a few of my very favourite things about it. One of them is that it constantly changes, and what I taught last year I might not be able to teach this year because actually the situation has changed. It keeps me on my toes. There's always a new volcanic eruption. Unfortunately, climate change always comes along with some new scenario that we hadn't thought about. It's constantly evolving and it constantly challenges me to come up with new teaching materials and to think about things differently. And I think that's a really exciting thing about my subject.
It is one of my favourite subjects and I'm so massively happy that I took it.